There are moments, even when you're surrounded by the people you love most, that you can feel the most alone. Mr. Harold used to be proud of his health. He was the pillar of his family. But now he's afraid of food. He just hopes for one evening without pain, to not become a worry for his wife and children. Have you ever asked yourself, is this the beginning of dependency? Perhaps the body isn't betraying us. Perhaps we just haven't truly listened to it in a very long time. And 60 days later, Mr. Harold learned how to listen. This is his 3-chapter journey.
Today, I want to tell you that story. It's the story of Mr. Harold, 74 years old. Harold wasn't an engineer or a politician. His greatest pride was found at the dinner table. For 40 years, his kitchen was the heart of the family. He was the one who roasted the Thanksgiving turkey. He was the one the kids always ran to first when they smelled fresh-baked cookies. For Harold, food was love. Food was connection. But about 3 years ago, things started to change. It began silently. It was just a little discomfort. Then it became bloating. And now it's a dull ache, a heavy feeling, after almost every meal. Harold told his wife, Margaret, "I don't understand it, dear. This body, it doesn't feel like mine anymore." Every dinner became a gamble. He started eating less. He said no to his favorite stew. He refused salad because he was afraid of vegetables. He popped antacids like candy. He tried everything. He tried cutting gluten. He tried cutting dairy. But nothing truly worked. Until one day, the breaking point arrived. It was his grandson's 8th birthday. He had promised to make the secret family lasagna recipe, but he couldn't. A sharp stomach cramp kept him in the bathroom for 20 minutes. When he came out, he heard his daughter, her voice full of worry, tell his grandson, "Grandpa is tired today, honey. Let's just order a pizza." Harold recalls, "In that moment, I didn't just feel physical pain. I felt useless." It was no longer just old age. It was a real fear. The fear of losing his independence. The fear of becoming a burden. In his 3-chapter journey, he discovered an ancient root the doctors call a savior for the stomach. And most importantly, he found a 2-minute habit before eating that was more important than what he ate. I'll keep that secret until the end of the video. This is the 1st chapter of his journal.
Chapter 1. The Ancient Savior. Harold began by understanding he couldn't fix his stomach if he didn't understand why it was broken. His doctor used a simple analogy. He said, "Harold, your stomach is like a jammed intersection. Food comes in, but it can't get out fast enough. And that bloating, it's just the blaring horns from the traffic jam." He needed something to help regulate the traffic and promote stomach emptying. And this is when he found the ancient root I mentioned. It was ginger. Researchers at Johns Hopkins confirmed what grandmothers have known for ages. Ginger helps soothe nausea and effectively supports clearing the stomach. So he started a new ritual.
Every evening, he replaced his diet soda with a cup of fresh ginger tea. He carefully cut each slice, smelling its aroma. He started adding ginger to his chicken soup. But in the first few days, he made a mistake. He thought more is better. He drank ginger tea all day and started getting heartburn. More seriously, he didn't know that high-dose ginger can interact with the blood thinner he was taking. The lesson was, ginger is a powerful ally, but it isn't candy. He learned to respect it, use a moderate amount, and talk to his doctor.
Chapter 2. The 2-minute habit that changed everything. Harold realized the ginger helped, but the traffic jam still happens sometimes. The problem wasn't just what he was eating. The problem was how he was eating. Digestion doesn't start in the stomach. It starts in the mouth. Chewing is the preparation signal sent to the stomach, telling it to release the necessary enzymes. If he ate too quickly, the stomach was surprised and would panic. And this was the 2-minute habit before eating and during that he discovered. It was breathing and chewing. Before, Harold, like many of us, ate dinner while watching the news. He swallowed quickly. He was stressed. Now he made a rule. Turn off the TV. Before eating, he takes 3 deep breaths. And he chews. He really chews. He counted his chews. Margaret joked, "Dinner with you is quieter now, but it's also more peaceful." When you chew slowly, your body relaxes. The brain tells the gut, it's safe. For Harold, this wasn't just about digestion. It was about presence. Because healing the gut sometimes begins with slowing down. Chapter 3. The Silent Cleaner. This was the final key Harold had missed. He had ginger, Chapter 1, and chewing, Chapter 2. But why did he still feel bad sometimes? It was because of the gut-brain axis. His fear of getting bloated was the very thing causing the bloating. When he was anxious, his body switched to fight or flight mode, and the first thing it does is shut down the digestive system. Sleep is when that system reboots and cleans up the day's mess. His solution was a sleep ritual. He turned off all screens 1 hour before bed. He started writing 3 things he was grateful for in his notebook, and he finished with 5 minutes of deep breathing. And this is what he realized. On days he was stressed, skipped the 2-minute habit, chewing, and ate in a hurry, the bloating returned, regardless of whether he drank his ginger tea or not. What was going on? The mind and body were never separate. They were always speaking.
So, is Harold's journey backed by science? I looked into it, and the answer is absolutely yes. First, regarding Chapter 1, a study from Johns Hopkins Medicine confirms ginger truly helps promote stomach emptying. This directly reduces discomfort and bloating. Regarding Chapter 2, the 2-minute habit, chewing, the Mayo Clinic points out that digestion begins the moment you put food in your mouth. Chewing thoroughly activates enzymes and sends the ready signal to the stomach, preventing indigestion. And most importantly, regarding Chapter 3, Harvard Health calls the gut-brain axis a two-way street. Stress and anxiety, like Harold's fear, can directly cause digestive symptoms like bloating and cramps. When he learned to calm his mind, his stomach began to follow. This isn't folk medicine. This is science. Harold's journey is real. Sometimes healing begins with listening, and science is finally catching up.
60 days later, Harold felt like a different person. The measurable result: his digestive log showed the number of days he experienced severe bloating had dropped by 80%. But the real victory was this: he cooked that lasagna. He could eat with his family. He was no longer afraid of food. He no longer felt like a burden. He felt alive again. And do you remember that 2-minute habit before eating I promised you? The habit of breathing and chewing thoroughly that Harold practiced every day? Here is why it was the key to everything. When we are stressed, the body is in fight or flight mode. It cannot heal or digest. The deep breath and the thorough chewing is the safety signal sent to the nervous system. It says, you are safe, you can rest, you can digest. That 2-minute habit is the foundation. Ginger, movement, and sleep are built on top of that foundation. Harold's journey is so inspiring. It shows that we always have the power to rewrite our health story. Of the 3 chapters he implemented, nutrition, habit, or mind, which one do you feel you could start with first? Please share your story in the comments below. Your wisdom might be the encouragement someone else needs to hear today. And if you wish to continue these conversations, please subscribe to the Elderly Wisdom Cares channel, where we learn to listen to our bodies, understand our minds, and live strongly and peacefully every day. Take care of yourself, and thank you for listening. Your body is speaking. It's time to listen.